Hello, folks. Yeah, I'm back. It is Sunday, the 26th, and this is one of those mornings where I'm up early, although I have not really slept well because I had a show last night with the rock and roll band I'm in, Scudder. I'm in about 7 bands, and this one is with a bunch of guys my age and older. The lead guy in the band is 66 years old, Jeff Morris. He's been around, and real Stonesy, Velvet Underground. We even do Tom Petty and Marshall Tucker. This band has a history of bikers and rednecks. When Jeff sobered up years ago, he got back in touch. I played with him back in those days, and now that he's sober, it's an absolute joy to play with the guy. It is. So just up already, sipping some coffee and ready to face the day. Let's see what's on my mind. I'll share with you. I will start by saying that people, I do appreciate you all. And when I respond to you and it sounds like I'm being a little negative or short-tempered, I don't know that that's really what it is. It's more like, let me just get to the point and just say this is what I need to say, And I just have to do that because I know that you can only know from your side what's happening with the other person. So I just get a lot of requests. I do, and I'm just going to do things as I feel. With that in mind, is it Garrett? As much as George Harrison is my favorite Beatle, I had completely forgotten about his birthday until everyone kept talking about it. Do I have George Harrison music? Absolutely. All Things Must Pass, 1970. This is one of my favorite albums. Absolutely. Absolutely is one of my favorites. I have one of those unfortunate copies, except it's on a side where it doesn't matter that much. But I have a copy where the label got, so it's on Hear Me Lord, that you can't play that song all the way to the end. But as you know, with digital, if you really want to hear the song all the way through, all you got to do is just, I've got the disc, I've got the CD. But this is a treasure to own this, And George always struck me as quietly powerful, enigmatic, and kind of like the secret sauce of the group, which they all had it. It was that combination of all four of them. But George Harrison's guitar playing was unique. It really was. And to this day, when people work out his parts, it's like, how do you come up with that? And where did he find where are the roots of that? George Harrison was amazing. And music is amazing. I wanted to follow up and say, when I shared with you this Mike Rutherford acetate, I was afraid to say the word. I couldn't believe that, Bill, that you actually sent me the acetates of this Michael Rutherford record. That's blowing my mind. This is such a wonderful artifact for a collector. Not at all about reselling it. Not at all. It's about owning it. I have this now. This acetate copy. That's badass. That's wonderful. Okay. The last thing I'll do in this video, I'm going to keep it short, is I'm going to follow up on my latest spate of telling you about my music. Someone commented on the last video that what I'm doing is brilliant marketing. I guess it is, but I refuse to see it that way because I don't like the idea of thinking about being in market all the time and selling all the time. I wanted to just think about living. So if this looks like it's brilliant marketing, good, because it's honest, it's real, okay? Matter of fact, the reason why this is happening now is because I'll go for many videos not saying anything about my music. Matter of fact, it got to the point where once I started talking about it again, I had subscribers tell me, I had no idea you made music. Some music that I don't have to show you that I would like to get just because I like having records. The new Thundercat Drunk is one of the best new things by a young artist I've heard in a long time. And it has the capacity, the capability, the potential to cross over and be commercially successful. Thundercat is a bass player. He seems to run in circles with people like Kamasi Washington and Kendrick Lamar and people like that. Kendrick is on his album. And he's obviously trained. I'm not musically trained. So when I hear people using chords like that, it always like, well, how do they do that? You know, because I don't quite, I get dyslexic when it comes to trying to understand music theory mathematically. I get to a certain point and it's like, okay. But I've been listening to Thundercat online, and it's like, I like it, and there's things about what he's doing that I can personally relate to. Everything is short. It's like he gets the idea out, and then he's done. He's kind of stream of consciousness, seemingly, with some of his words. Some of it's funny, and some of it seems funny on the surface, but what he's saying is actually something rather serious about the black experience, about double standards, about no matter how good you are, somehow you have to be even better than the mediocre, standard-bearing white person. This is in that Thundercat, people. Listen and you'll hear it. So I want to really punch up and prop out Thundercat this morning. Now, once I said that online, I said it on Facebook, I got not a bunch, but I got a couple of comments. One from a young friend of mine named Kyle, who writes for Waxed Poetics and other magazines, has become good friends with Chuck D. And she pointed out that the new Odyssey is just come out, and that she is head over heels about it and thinks I would love it. So I checked it out. Sure enough, the tracks and the music bed is interesting, very interesting. But I can really only take so much of the hip-hop rap. That's not my generation. And so all the talking is annoying. All the wordplay. When I'm in the room with you, when I'm live, I can appreciate and give you the feedback. Yeah, that's cool wordplay. But that's not why I'm buying records. I'm not over here at the house sitting to wordplay. I could do it if I wanted to, even without these teeth. What I'm saying is, I know about the power of words. And so it's the music always. You know, so the new Odyssey has interesting music, but I can only listen to the rap for a while. I have to be in the mood, you know. I have to be in the mood. In the pile down here, some things maybe I did not show. Yes, I've been on a Frank Zappa kick. Much props and respect to Frank Zappa. I was listening to You Are What You Is. Here's a guy where, when you bother to listen, he's saying a lot of social commentary in his lyrics, a lot. And a lot of it is very, very, let me again say it like this. It doesn't matter if you agree with what Frank is saying. How he's describing what he's seeing is laser accurate. Laser accurate, you know. People just don't like the truth. People just don't like being reminded of the ugliness of reality sometimes. Love. This is a classic album. Once again, a perfect example of the double standard in the music industry and in this frickin' world. One of the highest lauded rock albums of all time was by a mixed race band that was afraid to tour. Look online and look up Love and look at some of the interviews with not just Arthur Lee, but what was the other black guy's name? Bobby, the other black guy, you know what I'm saying? Eccles. They knew what they were up against, and yet this is some of the best. I have Forever Changes too. This is a great album. Gilberto Gil. Here's one that I was happy to find cheaply. This is not one of his best albums. This is one where he was crossing over and getting popularity in America. And consequently, it's produced by Sergio Mendes and produced and recorded in L.A. The main reason why I have this album, though, is because one of my musical partners and a friend, Carol Rogers, was a member of Sergio Mendes. They were the backing band on this. She co-wrote 2 or 3 of the songs on this album with Gilberto Gil by writing English lyrics for the songs. She also sings on the album. So there's a lot of joy in this music, even though this album is really commercial. I mean, they really want white people to like this album, okay? Don't be offended, folks. That's just the sad reality of this colonial world that we live in, you know. So even with that in mind, even with that, faced with that, this is still a very good album. Very good album. I went back to Almost Music and took an album that Chris Cole gave me and traded it. He gave me something that was valuable, so I was able to get a few records for the one. And here's one that I got. Been wanting this forever. Bruce Hack, The Electric Lucifer. One of the reasons why I wanted this, have always wanted this, is the cover. Just, you know, when I would see it in the stores as a teen, you know, it's like, and I'm coming from a Christian background, I was of course spooked at the time because of the reference to Satan, you know, which again makes it all that more interesting, right? This is really good, electronic, wild. It's like Bruce Hack made a lot of electronic records for kids and stuff, and he was on Mr. Rogers and stuff, but he was a genius when it comes to the manipulation of electronic sound. I got this Roy Harper 1970-75. I got it because there's a couple songs on here that I didn't have on vinyl from Flat Baroque and Berserk. Roy Harper is a singer-songwriter who I discovered him early up in my life that he really means a lot to me, and I admire him greatly. He is good friends with Led Zeppelin. They backed him up on some of his records. But he was also notoriously considered a crazy man over in England, which again also endears me to him. He's real, and he's very good wordsmith, but beyond that, a wonderful guitar player and songwriter. Roy Harper's songs, as much as he started out as a folkie and he's just singing at you and he wants you to hear these words and feel him, the music's always good. Always good. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here by saying thank you, folks, for responding. I stopped talking about my music for a while, and in talking about it again, it's on the move. Murphy, the last intact copy of Murphy, this one here, is sold. This is sold out. I'll be boxing this up this morning for, I can almost think of his name. I think it's a DJ that bought it. But the remaining copies of Murphy with the split seam at the top are already selling it. I had a crate of 10 when I made the video yesterday. I'm already down to 7, okay? Someone was suggesting that maybe I do some sort of extra stuff to sell these, you know, like do some artwork. I don't have time for that. They're going to sell. Here's what I can offer if you're interested. And only one person so far has expressed interest. You have to tell me you want one. On the way to my gig last night, I stopped by one of the local grocery stores and picked up a pile of this week's Focus magazine. It's a weekly entertainment guide that most cities have. As I showed you already, this let me get here I am. This week's has a feature on me. Dereck Higgins, Omaha's Musical Treasure. I like to show that. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I can't show it. Anyway, there I am. 2-page article, lots of pictures, gives you a rundown on all the bands that I'm currently playing in. How many bands am I currently playing in according to this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's true. I'm currently involved in 9 active bands in Nebraska. So these are going to be gone, and then what I have left is I do have Flyover, but I did do a count. Thank goodness I did a count. I thought I had a bunch of Flyovers. I don't. I thought I had 100 plus Flyovers. I have less than 50 copies of Flyover left. So that baby's on the way out too. The album that I have the most of is Nice. I still have quite a few yellow vinyl copies, and I have most of the black vinyl copies to sell. There's 100 copies of this on black vinyl. So this is the one that I have the most copies of. Will there be a new Dereck vinyl? Somehow there's going to be. It's like I'm at a point now here where I am marketable, and I can approach someone to maybe help me release some records, maybe help me re-release some of my old albums. I do have the plates for 3 of my records. So I own that property. So some kind of new vinyl by me will happen eventually. I hope this year. Like I said earlier, I like to focus mainly on living and not doing business. I'll see you all.